Right now I'm gonna go over restaurant/bar terms that every server should know. So I'm gonna start with some bar terms. So LTO, this is a little limited time offer or like seasonal. For example, in the summer, y'all might offer frozen drinks, but in the winter, you might offer like a spiked hot coffee or something like that. Draft is the beer that comes off of, you know, the draft beer out of the kegs rather than a bottle or a can. IPA is the Indian Pale Ale. You should definitely learn a couple of most popular ones. For me, the most popular IPAs are probably Tropicalia and Basement were probably the two IPAs that I sell the most of. A lager is like a lighter beer. To me, my favorite lager, my cat is literally rubbing against it. My favorite lager is a Corona. A stout beer is darker. I'm gonna put the definitions on here because I'm not even all the way like there about these, but I can name one. A stout one is gonna be a Guinness. Okay, so now if someone say they want it tall, that's just in reference to the glass. And keep in mind, it's gonna be the same amount of liquor, it'll just be more chaser. Short, you know, that's just a short glass, so same amount of liquor, less chaser. On the rocks means on ice. Neat means no ice. So neat drinks are typically like whiskey drinks, things like that where they just don't want them more diluted. Chilled means they're gonna be shaken with ice in the shaker. Stiff, this is probably the most annoying request because it's like, bro, most people measure out their drinks. So if someone asks for it stiff, I'll be like, okay, did you want a double? If they say no, then basically I would just order it like whatever they order and like splash of chasers so that it tastes stronger to them, but realistically it's the same. A rocks glass is the shorter glass. I'll insert a photo. Collins glass is gonna be like the taller glass, okay? And then a martini glass, you know, ding. Martini glass, also note most martinis do not come with ice. I want to say all martinis don't come with ice. All right, so now some general terms are going to be POC, this is your point of contact. MOD, this is your manager on duty. OT is overtime. Now out time, so let's say you're scheduled till 5 o'clock is your out time, but realistically that's probably the time that you just stop making tables. You're probably not gonna, most restaurants you're not getting out until at least an hour after your out time at best. All right, auto gratuity versus tips. So your auto gratuity is going to be like the 15, 18, 20% that's already included in their bill, versus a tip is what they can add on to that, or maybe you don't have auto gratuity, you just have tips, but really they work the same way because you probably tip out on both of them. And then speaking of tip out is basically a set percentage of your tips that go to your support team. So, you know, you usually tip out your bar back, you usually tip out your food runners, and you usually tip out your bartender. I've worked at different establishments that have different tip outs. Currently, my tip out is 28%. Drop below what your total tip out is. 12% to the bussers, 8% to the bar, 8% to the food runners. That's my tip out. What is yours? The tip pool is basically like, I have a section, you have a section, we decide to combine our sections to one big section, and then we split everything we make together. Some places force you to pool, like at my job after 12, if you have more than 12 people in one party, you have to pool. Sometimes bartenders are forced to pool or things like that. So that's that. Moving on to some fine dining terms, but also probably just general terms. Flip your table. This is when you flip your table, that basically means one set of guests leave and the next set come up. So if you flip your table twice, that means you had two parties, you know, at the same table, two set of guests at the same table. Marking the table, this is going to be to basically reset the table with silverware, plates, serving share spoons, anything they need so that they're ready for the food to come out, which you usually do in between each course. Manicuring the table, this is everything. This is basically just like taking care of the table, making sure the table is clean, doesn't have anything straw wrappers, making sure their water glass is full, make sure they don't have anything on the table that they're not using, box up anything that needs to put out the way. You might even want to wipe down the table, make sure there's not too many crumbs, just make sure you're things like that, you know. Letting a drink die at the bar. So basically it's kind of what it sounds like. You know, letting a drink die at the bar means the drink has been sitting at the bar so long that the drink has lost its quality. Like for example, most drinks most drinks in the recipe accounts for the amount of dilutedness it needs to be. So like how long they shake it for, whether they stir it, or maybe there's no ice at all. These things go into account of the drink diluting. But if it's been sitting at the bar for so long that the ice has half melted and now it's more diluted than it's supposed to be, and all the water sitting at the top, the ingredients have separated, like the drink is no longer good. The drink has died at the bar. All right, another one is covers. This one was new to me, but a cover is basically a guest. So like you might have, my restaurant, like we'll have 300, 400 covers in one night. So we'll know that we have 300-400 covers. We have 300-400 guests coming in. And then they don't divvy up your sections as like everybody gets the same amount of tables. Everybody gets the same amount of covers. So say there's 300 covers, we might get 20 covers a piece. That means one person might get, you know, an 8-top, sat twice, flip that 8-top twice, and then get a 4-top, and then they're done. Where someone else might be taking 2 tops all night and they have to literally take 10 tables to get their cover. So that is that. This is just a quick little video. Definitely just recorded, you know, first 10 things I learned in fine dining, so make sure you check that out. Make sure you comment below some other bar terms. I'm really new to this. I haven't been doing it for my whole life. Have been serving for a couple years now, but you know, haven't stayed too long in one like niche. Like I served in the strip club for a couple months, I served in a lounge for a little bit, then I went to bottle service for a while, then I kind of went to like an entertainment type restaurant, and many entertainment ones, because I worked at Topgolf, and then I worked at the Falcons Stadium, and then now I'm just like flat out in fine dining. I still do work another job too, but you know, I'm kind of just like shimmied around to see where I like best, and I kind of have like a little bit of understanding of all the different ways you could work your magic. So yeah, please comment below other bar terms, server terms that you think you need to know.